Why, hello there. I'm going to be reading you a 12 Days Till Christmas Princess Edition book. Now, I want you to choose your favorite as we go along and really finalize your choice at the end of the tale, okay? Perfect. Now, before we begin, I want you to choose your favorite right now between Tiana, Ariel, Rapunzel, Snow White, Merida, Aurora, Cinderella, and Belle. Which of these ladies are your favorites? I will give you 10 seconds to decide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now that you've made your choice, let us begin the tale. To preface it, we're going to be reading the introduction. Celebrate Christmas with the Disney princesses. Inspired by the famous song, The 12 Days of Christmas, a new holiday tradition is here, the 12 Days of Princess. Count down to Christmas with Tiana, Rapunzel, Merida, Cinderella, Belle, Aurora, Snow White, and Ariel. Each day brings a new magical gift, like the 2 glass slippers or 7 singing dwarves for one of your favorite Disney princesses to help get you into the holiday spirit. Let's begin. The cover. Choose your favorite ornament. Which one is your favorite ornament? It doesn't have to match your princess, but it's just going to be an indication as to what your stylistic preferences are. It doesn't have to be the same princess, but would you mind not making sounds right now? Silence yourself, computer. So, you choose which ornament is your favorite. The fishy one, the crown one, the sun one, the hot balloon one, the French hot balloon one, the crystal one, the flower one, or the very beautiful sort of bossing style one. You choose. Have you chosen? Have you chosen? Have you made your choice? Excellent. Let's move on to the next page. As we see, we have our princesses all lined up with their own little goodies that they will reveal as a present to you, their own little Christmas present to you at the end of the tale, deciding on which one you choose to be your favorite. Now, you can still choose, you can still change your mind and choose someone else throughout the progression of this tale. So we have Merida, Tiana, Rapunzel, Snow White, Cinderella, Ariel, Belle, and Aurora. On the first day of Christmas, a princess gave to me a red rose in a bell jar. And as you can see, here are the very beautiful animation. On the second day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 2 glass slippers and a red rose in a bell jar. And as you can see, the very beautiful animation of Cinderella. Now, let's compare and contrast. Belle, Cinderella, Belle, and Cinderella. So, let's go on to page number 3. On the third day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. And here we have the Aurora animation. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't it spectacular? Let's move on to the next princess. On the 4th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. Here is Merida and her family. Merida with her brothers. Aren't they lovely? Let's compare and contrast now between Aurora and Merida. Aurora and Merida. Excellent. It didn't rip. I thought I left a little tear. On the 5th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. And here we have Tiana at the jazz club. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it so sweet? Very 1920s iconic. And now on to the next page. On the 6th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. Wow, isn't that spectacular? Very lovely. Let's compare and contrast. Now, Tiana, with her magical galore all over, or Ariel, the water princess. Which one do you find appealing? On to the next page. On the 7th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 7 dwarfs of caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. And here we have Snow White and the 7 dwarves before their little cottage with ornaments in the tree. How quaint. Now on to the next page. On the 8th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 8 mice a-rapping, 7 dwarves a-caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. Now here we have Cinderella and all the mice before the Christmas tree, burying the Christmas gifts beneath the Christmas tree. So let's compare and contrast between Snow White and the 7 dwarves before the cottage with ornaments, how quaint, very cottagecore. Or Cinderella in her palace with the mice, a full princess with her gown, very princess core. Which would you prefer? Which one do you find appealing? Little pause. We're not going to be picking between the 2 ones that are being compared and contrasted, but rather just sort of narrowing down the options of, I do prefer that one, and sort of seeing where that leads inside your head. Don't tell me. It's going to be a secret surprise at the end. Now, on to the next page. On the 9th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 9 glowing lanterns, 8 mice a-rapping, 7 dwarves a-caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. So here we have Rapunzel with Ryder Flynn, with the light parade, I forgot what it was called, the lantern parade, and their little heart symbolizing their love. How cute, very, very sweet. And here we have, yet again, Ariel. On the 10th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 10 dingle hoppers, 9 glowing lanterns, 8 mice a-rapping, 7 dwarfs a-caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. So here we have 2 romances to compare and contrast. Ariel and Eric with the dog. I forgot the dog's name. And the Christmas tree with all the purple little ornaments and their little socks hung above the chimney. Or Ryder Flynn and Rapunzel lighting off the lanterns with a chameleon in the corner, whose name I also forgot. At the midst of night, compare and contrast. Now, on the 11th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 11 teacups dancing, 11 teacups dancing, 10 dingle hoppers, 9 glowing lanterns, 8 mice a-rapping, 7 dwarves a-caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. Beast and Belle in their Christmas dinner. How appetizing, with all the little teacups joining in. On the 12th day of Christmas, a princess gave to me 12 stars for wishing, and Tiana and I forgot her man's name, staring off into the night sky with the lights beating the night sky. Now, which one do you prefer? Belle and Beast, or Tiana and her man? Excellent, excellent. Now on to the next page. 11 teacups dancing, 10 dingle hoppers, 9 glowing lanterns, 8 mice a-rapping, 7 dwarves caroling, 6 mermaids swimming, 5 jazz players, 4 bows and arrows, 3 good fairies, 2 glass slippers, and a red rose in a bell jar. Isn't that lovely? Now, Merry Christmas. We have our final frame. It's decision time. So, among the princesses that were listed in the story, which one did you prefer? The gift is in the back of the book. So, which one did you prefer? Tiana, Ariel, Rapunzel, Snow White, Merida, Aurora, Cinderella, or Belle? 3, 2, 1. So, if you chose Merida, you have the bow and arrow. If you chose Ariel, you have the dingle hopper and a seashell. If you chose Snow White, you get your own little dwarf hat. If you chose Belle, you get your own red rose in a bell jar. If you chose, and also a teacup. If you chose Tiana, you get a saxophone. If you chose Rapunzel, you get a light lantern. And if you chose Cinderella, you get a shoe, just one shoe. And if you chose Aurora, then you get a magical wand. I think that pretty much covers all of them. Yes. So, now that you have your little gift, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.